Hey, it's Olga here from olgadictativa.com. This is where you overcome overwhelm, get in charge of your day, become more productive while feeling happy in your life. And today's video is all about a key ingredient of productivity. And when we talk about a key ingredient of productivity, what some of you might be thinking is it's a discipline, or it's a self-discipline, as some people call it. And it's said quite often, or you might have read it in an article or in a book about productivity and getting things done. People talk about self-discipline, and here I would agree with that, and that's actually what came up in the conversation I was part of about 2 weeks ago when I was invited to a dinner and drinks reception at our special workshop, Ingenious Women workshop, that was developed for the women research scientists at the University of Edinburgh to give them a chance to explore their further career and to raise the entrepreneurial skills and entrepreneurial spirit. So I was invited there as a woman research scientist who has started her business successfully, so that I could share with them my expertise and also give them some inspiration. So we were sitting there at the dinner and talking about productivity, what is a key element, or what is a key element of being productive. And one of the organizers of this workshop, Janet, she was at the same table as myself, and she started to talk about discipline or self-discipline, and she used me as an example to illustrate it. And she said, like, look at Olga, she's obviously successful in her research and in her new business, but to make it work, she obviously needed to be very disciplined. For example, to organize this evening for herself, she needed to organize her children to be looked after for the time she's away. She needed to remember not to drink so that she can drive back, because most of the women were staying there. It was a residential workshop at a nice hotel, so she needs to remember not to drink so that she can drive back home. She needed to keep in mind certain time that she would leave dinner. And look at this, she has a pen to write, and I was making some notes actually during our conversation. She has a business card case, and she's well stocked with business cards. And it was all true. And so that you don't get too intimidated that I'm so also organized and disciplined, I managed it in some areas of my life. It was also an effort. It was also a learning process for me to get disciplined, because I was not always like that. Or I still have some messy parts in my flat or messy parts in my life. But that was very, very important for me, to be there at this dinner, invited as a businesswoman. So yeah, I made sure I have a pen, because I found myself before at an important meeting and I didn't have a pen to write. And I did make sure that I'm well stocked in my business card, because I wanted to spread the word. I wanted to invite these women to join my community, to come and visit my blog, and to participate in the discussions that I lead, and so on. I did keep a certain time in mind when I wanted to leave, and it just worked out so that we kind of finished our conversation and dinner was finished. So it was just all easy and effortless, but I did need to make sure. So yes, so I would like to confirm here, so yes, the self-discipline is important. What today video is about, so, is that there is something that comes before that. It's almost like that this discipline or the self-discipline thing is a second, comes second. And what comes first is a different kind of discipline. Is, you can call it internal discipline or the discipline of your thoughts. So yeah, a thought discipline is very important, and it's something that we don't talk often about. Or, you know, I didn't get actually to read about this or to learn about this until relatively recently. I realized that actually to have some order in your thoughts, or to have your thoughts directed to certain goals or certain directions, is very, very important for your productivity. So what is this, the thought discipline, or your internal discipline in your mind? It is when you have directed thoughts that are directed to your goals and dreams and desires. It is when you think about your goals and dreams and desires every day in a particular manner, in directed manner, for example, first thing in the morning or throughout the day. It is also when you become more aware of your thoughts. And that's something that was completely new to me relatively recently, just a few years ago. That earlier I was not aware of my thoughts most of the time. They were just randomly, you know, I thought that they are just random in my head. And that's when you become more aware of your thoughts throughout the day. So why is it important for our productivity? Why is it important to become aware of your thoughts and have directed thoughts directed to your goals and results? Well, the connection would become obvious if I just illustrated with this. You know, when you wake up in the morning, I mean, do you find yourself thinking, oh, what this day is gonna bring me? Or usually on this day of the week I have these things coming up, and this just really is really a bummer, really bothers me, and these days is not gonna be any different, so it's kind of a sigh. I mean, do you find yourself thinking this kind of thoughts? Or imagine instead having a directed thought at your goal. For example, we're working with one of my clients now on him drafting a paper on a high-profile journal. Before, he wrote many papers already, several papers, but they were all not such high-profile journals, research journals. And now it's a really directed thought for him, like every morning or during the day. That's what I want. I'm writing a paper for a high-profile journal. And you know what it brings us? It allows us to see the opportunities that are already there for you to make progress to this goal. This is when, instead of just having this random thought, oh, what's this day gonna bring me, to have this directed thought to your goal will allow you to notice the opportunities out there already for you to make progress. So that's the key. So we talked about what is it? What is a thought discipline? We talked about why it is important to have it for your productivity. And the last thing that I wanted to just illustrate for you how you can start to be more so disciplined, because it's just a skill that you could learn and acquire. And it's just simply really deciding to be more aware of your thoughts. It's maybe first thing in the morning, actually ask yourself, okay, what am I thinking? And throughout the day, you know, just set certain times when you're going to be asking yourself, okay, what am I thinking? And then decide, what do you really want to think instead of your like random non-directed thoughts? Or just decide that you want to have a certain directed thoughts at certain points of your day. For example, in the morning, first thing, set this intention for your goal, and that would be your first 2 steps, become more aware of your thoughts. Let's do this. This is your productivity assignment this week. The first one is to become more aware of your thoughts in general during the day, at several points of the day. Just ask yourself, what am I thinking, what my thoughts are. And the second one is to have this certain directed thought, for example, first thing in the morning or throughout the day, towards your goal. For example, with this client that we work, we came up with this directed thought: I am writing a paper to a high profile research journal, or anything you're working on right now, or you want to achieve, or what your dream is. So I hope that was useful and you got your assignment, and please feel free to share it with your friends or colleagues, or maybe a student of yours, and spread the word about this. And if you're not yet receiving these e-zines in your email inbox, go to this Productivity Inside e-zine cover that I have here on my website and sign up, and it will be sent to you directly every Friday. Okay, it was nice talking to you, and I wish you a very productive day and happy accomplishment. And it's all from Olga today. Bye.